Cancel culture has come for serial sexual harasser, allegedly, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, but you'll never guess the reason why. Hey, everybody, I'm Steve Green with Bill Whittle and Scott Ott, and this is Right Angle, brought to you by the members of BillWhittle.com. Gentlemen, sometimes you find a story that just makes you smile on the inside so that your whole self lights up with well-being. My wife noticed this morning what great spirits I was in. It was because of this story. Gillian, I'm not sure which, Blake of Crown Publishing Group said in response to an email to the New York Times, and this is from the New York Times story, that there were no plans to reprint Mr. Cuomo's book. You may have heard of this book. It's called something Crisis. Where the heck did I put that? It's called I can't remember the name of the damn book. American
Leadership
Crisis.
Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic.
Thank you, Scott. I deleted my note on that on accident. My bad. So they've decided not to reprint the hardcover edition, even though it was selling very well. They're not going to do a paperback edition. And this is for a book that they paid 7 figures to Cuomo to write. Now, Bill, usually, I should mention that Blake mentioned the investigation into Cuomo's cover-up of New York State nursing home deaths during the pandemic. So this has nothing to do with the groping allegations or anything like that. This is the dead body stuff that they're actually going after. Now, Bill, usually when somebody is taken out by the cancel culture, it's for something really despicable, like not including a Marxist diatribe in your children's book against racism, or for making fun of the French. But in Cuomo's case, they're actually going after him for dead bodies. Is that fair to the governor?
When we talked about this on the Backstage show, which we record just before this for our members, and I found out that Cuomo was in, at least as far as the book deal is concerned, that it was being canceled because of the 12,000 people that died in nursing homes in New York's state as a direct result of him ordering infected people back to the nursing homes. When I found out they were canceling the book for that reason, rather than for him having groped a few women, I about fell out of my chair. I thought, my God, I'm not trying for a second to minimize the sexual allegations against the guy by any means, but the idea that this governor would order infected people back to nursing homes, and New York State reported 8,000 dead as a result of that. But then a couple people did a little digging and found out that, well, it turns out that if Cuomo had ordered an infected person back to a nursing home, and then somebody in that nursing home had contracted COVID-19 and they died out on the curb getting into the ambulance on the way to the hospital, didn't happen inside the nursing home, so it didn't count. Turns out the real number is 12,000 people, 12,000. And for me, there was nothing more viscerally graphic of the upended values of this culture, of how just upside down everything was, to think that a guy who had ordered that against medical advice, against the advice of the people not just the advice, against the desperate pleading of the people in the nursing homes. You've got the Javits Center is being underutilized. You've got USS Comfort there that's practically not used at all. You don't have the excuse of saying we simply had nowhere else to put him. It was just plain mean-spirited. And when he got called out on it, he doubled down. And thousands of people died as a result of this. He's a Democrat. Let's give him an Emmy. Let's give him an Emmy for his incredibly telegenic performance in handling the COVID-19 crisis. When I found out that the publishers were pulling this as a result of investigations into his murderous, I can't even call it incompetence. Incompetence would be to suggest that he didn't know. Malfeasance is the kindest word I can think of without swearing. I was pleased to see that now, of course, as we discussed, is this kind of a hollow gesture because most of the sales have run their course? I don't know. But as we talked about in another Right Angle this week on a Supreme Court case, always standing up for the principle of the thing is important no matter what the actual outcome is and no matter how late it is. If this book is canceled because the publishers feel that he criminally botched his COVID-19 response, then it's a sign of sanity in this rapidly inverting world of ours.
Indeed. Yeah, Scott, Bill raises an interesting point. The book was selling very, very well right up until news started finally coming out about this cover-up over all these deaths. And they say the cover-up is worse than the crime. But I'm sorry, when you've got 12,000 corpses, no, the cover-up is not worse. It's just in addition to. That aside, do you think once the sales started cratering on this news that Crown Publishing decided to just make virtue out of necessity by canceling this book?
Yeah, I don't have access to the actual numbers on this. I can tell you that Amazon breaks things down by all kinds of categories and subcategories. And under the political leader biographies, American Crisis by Andrew Cuomo is currently at number 5, just below Ruth Bader Ginsburg's My Own Words, and just above Mein Kampf. I kid you not. Adolf Hitler's book. This is the best review I saw. This is a 1-star review from a verified purchaser of the book under the headline.
Mein Kampf or of Cuomo's
No, this is Cuomo's book. Yeah.
Okay, God, let's get that
clarity there. Yeah.
Because I only gave it 1 star for Mein Kampf.
This was the headline of this review on Amazon. A heartfelt and caring look at how it feels to murder people through bureaucratic ineptitude. I enjoyed reading this as much as I enjoyed reading The Confessions of My Majestic Wonderfulness by Joseph Stalin and Another Great Day of Being Me by Pol Pot. Equally enlightening books showing the heartfelt emotion of lovingly, caressingly killing people while getting to blame others. And that reviewer goes on in a more serious vein. Outside of satire. It's good to see, assuming that Crown Publishing is in fact doing this for the right reasons, that there's somebody out there doing something for the right reasons. What's surprising is how surprised the left seems at this point to find out that Andrew Cuomo, in a variety of ways, is not a great guy. They liked him because, with the old saying, he's our SOB. And so they liked having their SOB in a position of power. They hung on his every word when CNN was live streaming his daily COVID-19 updates. Steve tells me he got an Emmy for that performance. And I guess Emmys are given to actors, and it is certainly well-deserved because his public face of a caring, compassionate leader making hard decisions but doing the right thing for the people turns out to be as opposite as possible for Bizarro Cuomo.
Wow, Scott, that review makes me wonder if Cuomo's book isn't going to become the next Howling Wolves T-shirt of Amazon reviews. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there's this T-shirt with 3 Howling Wolves on it that has hundreds, maybe thousands of reviews by now. I've written one of them myself. It's kind of a cheesy T-shirt, and everybody rants and raves about its magical qualities and how their life has been immensely improved by the wearing of this simple T-shirt. And if you're watching this and you feel like writing a humorous review of Cuomo's book, go do that right now. Well, no, wait until I've wrapped things up here, then do that. Crown Publishing is missing an opportunity here, I think. I don't want this book canceled. I don't believe in the cancel culture at all. However, if there's some kind of breach of contract, since Cuomo's book was full of lies, they should stop paying him royalties on future sales, and they should rebrand the damn book. And all they have to do is change the cover. Put Cuomo's scowling face on there with a new title that reads, Lies I Told About the Old People I Killed Through a Combination of Ineptitude, Stubbornness, and My Own Giant Vapid Ego, which I think is a fairly catchy title, little long on the bestseller list. But that way, the truth will continue to come out about Andrew Cuomo, and I think that is a lot more important than any royalties he might get or anything else. And after that, I'm not kidding. Not only should this guy be impeached, not only should this guy be removed from office, but he needs to face charges for either negligent homicide or intentional manslaughter, whichever one you can actually make stick. And that's your right angle on that, brought to you by the members of BillWhittle.com. Just want to remind you that content like this needs sponsors like you. So if you've been watching these for free, go to BillWhittle.com. Become a member or just make a one-time donation. Either way, we really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.